Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today we're going to be talking about MCC Season 4 predictions and some of the best ones that have been upvoted by the Reddit and some things that I've seen that I also put, on a tier list. I've made a selection of 10 teams, just a roster essentially, for what I think a good MCC Season 4 or MCC 36 prediction could look like. We're going to be looking at the top 3 Reddit posts that were titled like MCC 36 prediction, from what I could tell at least. One of them had like significantly more upvotes, but I think it's due to profile pictures. We'll see. Either way, yeah, we'll talk about what I think good MCC predictions are, and also side thing. I will be live streaming. When this video is up, I'll be live just chatting. We're gonna be live earlier, okay? I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna be live just chatting, playing some Minecraft. So come tune in, please. Alright, let's get started. So the most upvoted prediction for MCC 36 that I could find on the Reddit, now obviously I might be wrong, but I think this is the most upvoted one, was this, which is MCC 36 team predictions, but with lots of newcomers, because why not? Repost because of a mistake. And obviously, as you can tell, they used a lot of silly profile pictures, which is interesting, you know? So let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to view. But yeah, let's take a look at these. So you got like, Radoon's newcomer with Jordan makes sense. Scott and Shovel, obviously a recurring duo, makes a lot of sense. You get Laguno and Eloise's newcomers on here. Is also a very fun team. Gracie is a newcomer here. You get just a fun team here. You get Skizzleman as a newcomer on this team, which I think makes a lot of sense. Doc M77 as well, someone who I would like to see. I think Hermits are always good in terms of new additions for MCC. I just don't really know too much about Doc, so I don't really know what type of team to make for him. So, spoiler alert, I did not put Doc on my MCC 36 team prediction, but I do really hope that he gets a chance to play, because I think it'd be interesting. Curryway is a newcomer here, with Pearl as a returning player. Silver Runs and Wreck Rap as newcomers here. Very interesting picks. I don't know how realistic that is. It's probably very unrealistic, but cool, I guess, No newcomers here, and then finally they have me as the newcomer with, just a picture of me. It's just a casual picture of me. But yeah, these are obviously fun predictions, but there's an insane amount of newcomers. I think it's probably a bit too much. Not even a bit. It's quite a bit too much for the first event, I'll say now. I think there will be a decent amount of newcomers for MCC 36. I think what's probably going to happen is they'll probably just try to experiment more, hopefully, because I think, obviously, MCC saw what happened in Season 3, and they'll probably try some different stuff in Season 4, I think, probably is my guess, at least, that would make the most sense. So we'll probably see some newcomers. I think at minimum, hopefully like 3, and at most like 6, but I think 6 might be a bit much, but not in a bad way. I would love to see as many newcomers as possible, but you still want it to feel like MCC, So that's why, I think it's going to be probably 3 to 5, and then maybe it'll be, if it's 2, it's okay, I guess, and then if it's more than 6 or something, I'll be like, whoa, okay, welcome to MCC Season 4, oh my god, anyways, moving on. Some of these the rest of these have less newcomers. There was a person making team predictions that had almost half the roster be new, which was is this MCC rookies or what are we doing here? But anyways, let's continue. You got a fun little experimental purple team here where he's paired up with Hermits and Jordan, which I think this would be a family-friendly team then, which is interesting. This team makes a lot of sense, and you will see this team on the thing here. I'll actually show you right now. When we get to this, look, wow, the same team. So yeah, this one I think makes a lot of sense to predict. I think this is if Eloise were to join in the first event, or whenever, obviously, for MCC Season 4, this makes just an insane amount of sense for the first team. Next up, You got a fun little team here. I was considering to put this one on the sheet as well because I think this is a good prediction as well. This is a fun team. I don't think I ended up going for it, but maybe I did. Well, we'll see. I don't remember. Another fun team. So far, this is a good prediction so far. I like the teams here. They're pretty solid. This one feels very strong. Obviously, there's some other teams that are definitely like strong. This is also a very strong team. This is a pretty strong team as well. This one could be pretty strong as well. Like another thing that I think would probably happen in MCC season 4 is they'll probably lower the skill level maybe a little bit. I think if possible because it just kind of makes sense. I think it's hard because you want to have like that competitive edge to it, which you'd still have that. But you also want to have it be like friendly for the lower placing players to still enjoy themselves, which I hope they'll do, but I don't know. That's my guess. I'm assuming that they might try to go for like a more not for fun approach, sorry, a lower average skill level approach. Kind of similar to like what Blockers is doing, but obviously in their own way because it's MCC. MCC's gonna always do things originally, or at least try to. This is a fun team too. Very interesting dynamic, obviously. This one is another one that I wrote down as makes a lot of sense. The issue with this team is that it is really good. As much as Curry would be new, obviously, he is still probably going to be a top 10 contender first event because of how good he is mechanically. He's a speedrunner, after all, so and an active speedrunner at that. So it's not like comparable to like some of the like a Tapple, right? It's not comparable to like Harvey. As much as Harvey does speedrun, he doesn't actively speedrun to the level of Curry. So Curry will be like very much quickly up to speed in terms of MCC skill, and that's because of his mechanical skill. So I think he would be really good, and also H-Bomb, obviously, his second frag is incredible. False and Kara are not at all to be overlooked, so this is a really good team as well. This is an interesting combination. I don't really know like what the logic behind it is. Maybe it's just people that they think are fun to put together, but I am curious if we'll see Ollie Gamers and Capitan Gato in the first event back, because I feel like I haven't seen them in the roster that actively, but I could be wrong. So yeah. This is another one that I almost put in, but there is a way more obvious team that I think I might have came up with, but maybe I didn't. I don't want to take too much credit for something I might not have actually invented. But there's a team that makes a lot more sense. And then this one is also very fun, and I think I did also write this one down. Let me check. Actually, did I? Yeah. Actually, I'll show it right now. So these are the Reddit teams that I wrote down. The green team, I don't know if this is from Reddit or if it's from somewhere else, but yeah, Shane Joel, Impulse, and Skizzleman is a pretty popular prediction now that I think just makes a lot of sense. But yeah, these are the 4 teams that I think are from Reddit that I wrote down, and the other 6, it's like from Reddit, but I haven't seen it directly, at least I think. Or they're not from Reddit, but it's like my interpretation of what would be a good idea to do with the rest of the players-ish. But we'll get to that. Final prediction is also, another fun set of teams. Me on there, of course. Red on there as well. Curry and Purple on the same team is crazy. And then Ghosty in there as well, very interesting. But yeah. Let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. So, what I think is the best. So, the best of MCC 36 predictions. Not saying that I made the best MCC 36 predictions, but like from what I've seen, I think some of the best combined ideas would result in a roster similar to what I shall present to you. Obviously, I am biased because I put it together. So maybe my taste for a good team is different than your taste for a good team, and that is totally okay. These 4 teams is roughly like what Reddit predicted, and I think they are good teams. These are cool teams. They are very strong, though, so that is the main flaw with these teams. I think the only team that could probably get away with it is maybe Green, but I could be wrong, because Skiz would be new. Impulse, I don't think, has had the strongest performance in MCC thus far, but it does have Shane and Joel as a pretty insane duo. I think every other team is definitely too good. So I think it would be unlikely that it takes place, but it makes a lot of sense conceptually. All right, first team is this one. Now, obviously, you'll notice that there's already 4 newcomers. I'm pretty sure, at least, yeah, 4 newcomers in these first 5 teams. You're right. That is true. But this makes a lot of sense. If Radoons were to be added to the event, Red and Sparkles is obviously the biggest no-brainer like duo of all of them. It makes too much sense. Toby also fits super well with that duo. Toby and Red are really good friends. Toby and Sparkles are really good friends. And then obviously the cherry on top is Good Times with Scar, who just works well with everyone on this team. It's just such a good team. I don't remember if I've seen this on Reddit at all. I just know from like my team making experience, spoiler alert, if Scar were to be in Block Wars, we would probably try something like this for his first team-ish, maybe. Hopefully, it depends on if we can, but something like this, you would probably see it. Yeah, you'd probably see something like that, if possible. It just makes a lot of sense. It's just a really cool team. So I think MCC, capitalize on it. If you can capitalize on it, capitalize on it. I was just talking about talking to like Jinxie, holy bully, my rolling my R's and P's. But yeah, capitalize on it if you can. If Red is gonna be in. Oh yeah, so this was the Scott's major substitution. Scott was on this team in someone's prediction instead of Awesome Dude, but I think I put Scott on another team. Don't remember what exactly, but it probably makes sense. I think maybe, I don't know. But Awesome Dude, I think is a cool fit. I think Awesome Dude fits the vibe. Pretty cool team. In my opinion, I think it's pretty fun. There's Scott. So this team is a bit of a last minute put together. Obviously, there's other people I could have put in, but yeah, Scott, Ollie, and Jimmy obviously are really good friends. Like they make sense together, and I think Shadoon makes for a really fun top frag on this team. Shadoon's been on his gaming arc, for a while, so I'm sure he can appear in MCC with a strong performance. But yeah, this Lime team would really benefit as well from having like a Shane or a Purpled as their top frag. But both of those people have other teams. So obviously you've seen Shane already, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Cyan team. Look, Bad and Skeppy for a first event back would make a lot of sense. It's just my take, I think it would make a lot of sense. Originally, I think I had Ant and Sam on this team with Bad and Skeppy, which I think would make the most sense. But from the people we have remaining, I think this is also a really fun team. Harvey with Bad and Skeppy obviously makes a lot of sense from like Hypixel OG days, like back in the day. They're obviously all like, they know each other pretty well, I'd say. And Callum, also pretty fun combination here too. I mean, Callum and Bad have had their little moment in the past. I think it was on the Dream SMP or something like that, and then they also had like a little moment in MCC with like Dream and all them. So, hey, they're cool with each other. I think this is a fun team. That would be pretty fun. I like it. Next up is probably one of the ones that the people are gonna like the most because it has Fruit and Green on the same team. Okay, look. Is Green gonna play in the first MCC back? I don't know. I hope so. I think it'd be really cool if Green played in the first MCC back. Especially because it's going to be like a grand like relaunch of MCC, right? They've been on break for how long? Like at least 5 months probably by the time MCC would come back. And, it would be cool to have Green in that, is my opinion at least. I mean, maybe you would disagree, but I think Green is pretty cool, so I would put him in. I think Zeus has been a pretty popular third with Fruit and Green. I know people really want to see Fruit and Zeus on the same team. And I think Cub makes for a pretty good last player on this team. This team doesn't really have, like... This team is more of like an all-rounded team, which I think could be pretty strong. But, yeah, if it wasn't obvious already... Obviously, these teams are not balanced compared to each other. Maybe they are on accident, but they weren't intended to be perfectly balanced because MCC is difficult, okay? Some people have, like, massive pop-offs. Some people have massive drop-offs. I don't know, man. And then finally, look, Chilled Chaos Edition, I'm all for it. Now, I don't really know Chilled Chaos that well. I know that he's typically paired with either Shelby or Kara. I think Shelby makes sense here. I'm pretty sure Chilled Chaos knows 5-Up, or they've at least talked before. And a 5-Up Purple duo is pretty cool. I think that would be pretty hype. I don't know if they've teamed before. Maybe they have like once, but I I think it should return. I mean, Perp and Five are pretty good friends from what I remember, or at least they used to talk a lot. So there you go. I think this would make a lot of sense. That's my opinion, okay? My opinion, cool team. I'm thinking it's a cool team. So let's zoom out a little bit. Boom, there you go. This is the roster I came up with. It's in a weird order because some of these teams were ones I put together with not like a direct reference, and then some of these were like directly ripped off, pretty much from, well, not ripped off. I give credit, okay? I showed the teams on the screen. But yeah, I think this would be pretty cool. Let's put them in order so you can kind of see like, oh, this is what it would look like. We're simulating the team announcements, okay? Viewers, we're simulating the team announcements. Boom! This would be the order in which you would see everything. So you'd start off with the team announcements being like, okay, holy moly, Radoon's newcomer with a really fire team. Wow! Next up, you'd be like, oh my god, Super Eloise newcomer too with a really solid team. Wow! Then you're like, wow, this yellow team is pretty fun. I like it. I like this one. And then you see the lime team. You're like, ah, this is pretty cool too. I like this one too. And then you're like, green. It's like, whoa! Green team is like, what? No way! What? Fire breath, man! Well, actually, I feel like in this instance, I don't even know what the most hype would be. This is like just two really solid / highly requested duos smacked together, honestly. Shane and Joel, they've had banter for like a while. Probably over, it's been a year-ish. And then Skiz and Impulse, I think, have a podcast together, or at least they're really good friends. I mean, from the profile pictures, it looks pretty similar, so I assume there's some relation there. Then you see the Cyan team, we're like, oh, Bad and Skeppy back with a really cool team, whoa! And then you see the Aqua team, we're like, Curry Way, yes! Blue team, you're like, oh my god, Green! And then Purple, you're like, ah, Pearl's back, and this is like a sick team. And then you're like, well, what is hiding on the pink team? What do they got in store for us here on pink, okay? And then boom, Chilled Chaos, fire team. This is my vision. I want to end the video off by saying, if you're still here, go watch me live on Twitch right now, because I am probably live streaming, I think, probably, unless you're watching this late. I might not be live anymore. Also, don't set your expectations super high for MCC, and any event for that matter. Not saying that they're not going to deliver, but saying that if you set your expectations not super high, you can only really be positively surprised. If you expect like an insane amount of newcomers, an insane amount of new content and whatever, and then they don't deliver to the same extent as you expect, you will be disappointed for seemingly no reason. You had unrealistic expectations. So lower your expectations and just be pleasantly surprised. If they just return with nothing, it's chill, okay? Their choice to make. If they return with a bunch of new stuff, awesome. We'll take it. Look, that's my take on it. Okay, that's my take. Also, obviously, let me say again that I don't think there's gonna be an absurd amount of newcomers for the first event back. I think it's probably within the range of 3 to 5. I would love for it to be more. It would be a little meh if it's lower, but I guess, you know, we gotta take what we can get. So that's the only expectation that I'm setting. Not super high, but like a relatively decent height. 3 newcomers compared to what we've seen in MCC Season 3. I think there's only been one event where there was more than 3 newcomers, which was MCC 31, which had a Spanish team, which was like 2 newcomers and then whatever else, right? So, yeah. Anyways, enough yapping. I've been going for almost 20 minutes. So, thank you for watching. Come watch me on Twitch. Alright, thanks. Goodbye.